Watch out for the area in the right lane on right before exit 31 heading westbound on I-24. I just wanted to give folks a notice.
Stars. Thank you.
I saw a truck next to me literally was doing this.
So a high-profile vehicle still having issues with it as well. I mean, they're everywhere. That water gets in, freezes, expands, and it is messy for the time to come. And, of course, these potholes, Amy, are dry now.
They are.
But they're become a splash zone this weekend. Thanks for the heads up, sister. We're always needing some good information for sure. Here's some info when it comes to what you need to know over the next little bit. Today, hands down, get outside. I don't care if you just walk to your mailbox. Do it. You've got to. It's going to be nice, sunny, spring-like. It's just lovely. Tomorrow will be dry to start off. By the evening, we're going to have some rain showers that try and sneak in. They're not going to last for long. We're going to be dry yet again Thursday, but starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even going into Monday, we're going to be dealing with a major splash alert. Now, this is going to come in the form of waves of rain because it's several different systems. We're still in a very active pattern, but those raindrops, they're going to add up. Some areas around 2 to even 4 inches will be anticipated, and so our flood threat will be increasing. So we'll keep a very close eye on how things do pan out. But the good news first is today. Right now we're starting out in Gallatin, 32 degrees. Your roadways are looking grand, and we've just about dried out and defrosted everywhere across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky, with the exception of a few of those neighborhoods and, of course, front porches that don't get a lot of sunshine. They're in the shady spots. It's still slick. The Power 5 radars, we are completely dry, but it's not going to be like that heading into the weekend. There's not even a cloud in the sky to start off our morning. Current temperatures 30s going over into Cookeville, Crossville, as well as Murfreesboro and McMinnville, 40s elsewhere. The city, you're starting out at 48, 42 in Hopkinsville, going just over into Auburn. You're sitting at that 42-degree mark. Down in Lawrenceburg, you're coming in at 37. We do have a slight chill because winds are active this morning, even seeing some gusts near 20 at times. But majority of us with that wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, that does make it feel like we're at 27 in Cookeville. 35 is what it feels like just over into Murray. Winds will be coming in throughout the day, quite gusty as we head throughout the afternoon. So we will have that slight skirt alert, but beautiful and spring-like. Rain chances are going to roll in tomorrow evening, starting around 5, 6, 7 o'clock. This doesn't have a lot of moisture associated with it, but it's going to be enough that if you're planning on having that walk, it'll be getting on your nerves just a little bit because it's going to be very light, misty. We'll dry out going into our Thursday. Then the rain returns as we go into our Friday. And this is going to be associated with a warm front, a short wave, and then several other systems. And that's why it's coming in that wave pattern as we go throughout the weekend and into early next week. So today's your best day. This is your A+ day to get outside. 64 degrees for our high, just a little breeze out there. 41 tomorrow morning, by the afternoon 65. We'll see some rain showers tomorrow evening. They're not going to last long, but if you're planning on having that evening stroll, you may want to bump up the time just a little bit. Thursday, 55 for the afternoon. Rain chances return Friday morning. They're on and off as we go throughout Saturday, Sunday, as well as Monday. The one consistent, though, Ben, is that temperatures will be above freezing each morning, by the afternoons in the 60s. But we're looking at a lot of water that's going to be moved on in. And as you mentioned earlier, that's on top of already saturated soil.
Good to know, Nikki-Dee. Thank you very much. Well, Isaiah Wilson's days here in Tennessee look like they may be reaching an end. Steve Lehman has more on Wilson's since deleted tweet, plus Vanderbilt's cruise to victory of Wright State.
Isaiah Wilson tweeted that his time as a Titan is done. Then he deleted it. But neither the message or his disastrous rookie season can be erased, which means it's probably only a matter of time before the Titans officially part ways with their top pick from a year ago. Officially, nothing changed with Wilson's status on the team on Monday, but after 2 stints of the COVID list, 2 run-ins with police, a 1-game suspension, and now this tweet on Monday night, all while playing just 4 snaps as a rookie, it's safe to now call the 29th overall pick a bust. A year ago, the Vandy boys' defense of their College World Series title was halted by COVID-19. More than 11 months and a weekend of snow and ice later, the Commodores finally got to play ball again on Monday. Still the reigning national champs as they took the field for a doubleheader against Wright State. Lots of new faces, but Tim Corbin's club still has Kumar Rocker. Likely #1 pick in this summer's draft, living up to the hype on opening day, striking out the side in the first. He fanned 8 in 4 innings of 1-hit ball, and he got plenty of support. Isaiah Thomas and Jason Gonzalez both homer as the Vandy boys pound out 14 runs on 14 hits in Game 1. And poor Wright State had to then see Jack Leiter in Game 2. He struck out 8 on 5 innings of one-hit ball. And Jack Bolger's RBI groundout made the 1-0 difference as Vandy sweeps the doubleheader. With the Predators sitting in 7th place, speculation's growing the team will be sellers ahead of this year's trade deadline. The Preds are reportedly willing to move any of these expiring contracts, their 2 big-name centermen, or maybe even stars like Philip Forsberg or Matthias Ekholm if the price is right. Pecorino's got a no-movement clause, so he's not going anywhere and isn't ready to give up on this season just yet.
We went that kind of similar thing last year, and there was a coaching change, and it was a huge disappointment, and I think it was on us players, and I think same thing again this year. You just have to live in the present and build off the win we got in Columbus, and we got a huge 2 games coming up in Detroit. We can put ourselves back in the mix and back in the playoff picture.
Yeah, the Preds will try to keep it going against the Red Wings. Puck drop tonight just after 6:30 in Detroit. That's your morning sports update here on News Channel 5. I'm Steve Laban. Have a great Tuesday.
Thank you, Steve. Stunning new video shows the final moments from the Mars rover landing on the red planet. We take a look at the one-of-a-kind footage next.
Join the conversation. Connect with News Channel 5 on Facebook.
Good Tuesday morning, 4:24. The landing of NASA's Perseverance rover on Mars captured the fascination of the entire world last week.
Those images, and they're as breathtaking as the scope of this mission itself. But now NASA's releasing more footage. The new video shows the final minutes of the rover's entry, descent, and landing. It starts with the supersonic deployment of the largest parachute ever sent to another planet. The landing video finishes with the final touchdown in the Jezero crater. NASA also released images showing the mission's first panorama of the rover's landing location. Those pictures were captured by 2 navigation cameras on the mast. That's just so intriguing, Ben.
It's stunning. I mean, it really is what they're able to do. And another NASA spacecraft arrived on the International Space Station yesterday. The SS Katherine Johnson, named after one of the space agency's mathematicians, arrived with roughly 8,000 pounds of cargo about 2 days after launching. The craft will assist with health-related experiments, including the exploration to bring back vision for those with retinal diseases. Johnson, whose life was the plot of the film Hidden Figures, died last year at the age of 101. So we just want to thank all the women, of course, in the science fields and math fields, Nikki-Dee, who have done so much for our great country. It's really stunning. And that was a great movie, too. If you haven't seen it, by the way, go check it out.
I was just about to say, fantastic movie and so inspiring. Goodness gracious. It's amazing how technology continues to change, but we have that nice foundation. This morning, we've got some nice temperatures to lay the ground for a warm day. We're starting out in those 30s and 40s. And we are crystal clear. We're going to stay dry as we go throughout today and majority of tomorrow. But this weekend, that's when things get rather wet. We're looking to see quite a bit of rainfall on and off starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and even Tuesday. The highest accumulations are anticipated to be south of I-40, where we could see 3 to 4 inches. And just along the Kentucky state line, you're not left out. You're looking to see 2.5 to even 3 inches when all is said and done. So yes, tomorrow we'll see a chance for some showers late. That's not the main event. The large rain that's going to pretty much impact us all weekend starts Friday morning and then continues to stay with us. Something else that sticks around are these mild temperatures. We're going to be above freezing each morning. Highs, Amy, 50s and 60s. So with spring-like temperatures, you're getting those spring-like showers.
Oh, looks good. Thank you, Nikki-Dee. Severe weather put a freeze on vaccinations here in Music City. Coming up on News Channel 5 this morning, how people are racing to reschedule their appointments following the winter storm.
The CDC has a warning for school districts going back to in-person learning. Straight ahead, I'll tell you about their latest investigation involving COVID-19.
As you wake up this morning, you may want to take a look at your credit report. I'll explain why next.
Elderly population getting to a vaccine appointment can be a challenge. How one nonprofit stepping in to fix that.
This is News Channel 5 This Morning with Amy Watson, Ben Hill, Storm 5 Senior Meteorologist Leland Statham, Storm 5 Meteorologist Nikki-Dee Ray, 5 Live Traffic with Rebecca Schleicher, and Nick Barris from the 5 Alert Center.
It is February 23rd, 2021. Good morning to you. I'm Amy Watson.
And I'm Ben Hill. Yeah, we are working our way through this week. And of course, Amy, the past few weeks have been really hard for the state of Texas.
Yeah, that's right. Some local retailers are setting out to help by donating profits to those who've been affected by the winter storm there. Vinnie Louise on 12th Avenue South is donating 100% of their profits to those in need in Texas. And this is the Heart of Texas shirt. It costs $30 and it's available for pre-order until Friday. And guys, those folks, I mean, without water, without power, I mean, they really had a rough couple of weeks.
They truly have. And even after the temperatures, went back up, they're still dealing with the devastation, heading back to their homes with busted pipes. I mean, it is a true mess.
Yeah, Nikki-Dee, as you mentioned, I mean, they're trying to get back to normal. The weather's improving, but boy, they got weeks and months to go. A lot of repairs there. So anything we can do, I feel like we all have a connection to Texas. It's so big. We know so many people there too, Nikki-Dee, and it's special for us. I know we both worked there when we started our career. So anything we can do to help them out, the Lone Star State certainly needs it right now.
And they're always great to help us out when we're in need as well. So check on your friends. I know I've been doing a lot of texting back and forth, and just knowing that somebody's okay, and knowing that they're being thought of means the most to them. So please think about purchasing that t-shirt. $30 is really going to go a long ways. Here's a look outside where we are starting out with clear skies this morning. Current temperature in Hopkinsville, 42. Now, we haven't been frigid for quite some time now. We haven't had any showers, rain showers, not rain showers, I'm sorry, snow showers moving in since Thursday. But look how we still have mounds of snow. These are just huddled up. They are solid, and it's going to take a little bit of time for those to melt. Yes, we're going to be above freezing again today. There's a good chance you're still going to notice some snow out there. The Power 5 radars completely dry, and that's how we are going to be as we go throughout the day. Now, if you are going to be traveling I-40 northward, you're probably going to notice a little bit of a wind trying to steer you just a bit. Thankfully, interstates are great, so we're really not having to worry too much in the way of those slick spots, but you will feel that wind easing in. Right now, winds gusting 20 miles per hour in the city, and we'll have some gusty winds as we go throughout our day. Temperatures right now, 30s and 40s. It is mild. The city starting out 48 this morning. You've got 39 in Lafayette, cooler spot being Cookeville at 32. We'll have plenty of sunshine today. Temperatures will rapidly warm. By lunchtime, I look for us to be at 58. After lunch, we're topping out at 64. Beautiful sunshine with us. Please get outside, even if it's just for 5 minutes. It's going to do you a lot of good because this weekend, we're going to be soaking wet. Ben, I'm going to have details on the potential for flood issues coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Nikki-Dee. And a new CDC report reveals teachers played a significant role in a huge outbreak of coronavirus down in Georgia. Now, this report comes as more students across the country do return to in-person learning, including right here in Music City. News Channel 5's Aaron Cantrell joins us live from Overton High School with more here this morning. And Aaron, what did the CDC take away from this big study?
Well, Ben, teachers, they play a huge role in this in-school transmission. So they say it's important that you follow those safety protocols. You wear those masks and, practice social distancing with, if you can at all times. So as Metro School students return back 5th and 9th grade today, the CDC wants to remind them just to remember those COVID-19 safety protocols because an outbreak can still happen. They recently saw it happen in Cobb County, Georgia. From December through January, the CDC identified 9 clusters of COVID-19 cases. They are involving 13 educators and 32 students at 6 elementary schools. Now, the 2 clusters involved probable educator-to-educator transmission. Then it was followed by educator-to-student transmission in classrooms. Now, the CDC says school districts must follow, again, those COVID-19 safety protocols as much as possible. Now, MNPS Director of Schools, Dr. Adrian Battle, says getting teachers vaccinated will help a lot with keeping the number of cases down and help them stick with in-person learning. Now, Metro began vaccinating school staff and teachers this past weekend. So far, about 500 of them have received their first dose of that COVID-19 vaccine. Reporting live from Overton High School, Aaron Cantrell, News Channel 5.
And another day with fewer than 1,000 new COVID cases in Tennessee. The state announced 952 new cases Monday. Out of just more than 6,900 tests, 9.94% were positive. The vaccine clinic at the Music City Center was closed for days last week due to the ice and snow. And according to the Metro Public Health Department, people who were scheduled to get their second dose last week should come on the same day and time this week. People who were supposed to get their first dose last week should wait. Brian Todd says they're trying to prevent long lines since 1,200 people are vaccinated here every day.
We'll be there for a few more weeks, partly because we were out of the business last week due to the snowstorms.
If all goes as planned, they will reopen the vaccine wait list tomorrow. In the meantime, they're asking people to be patient as they play catch up. And Ben, anyone over the age of 65 is now eligible to get a vaccine through state-run health departments. And for our area, that is basically every county outside of Davidson.
That's right. Obviously, Amy, while this is great news for our vulnerable population, getting to the vaccination site can be quite the challenge. That's where groups like Community Life Bridge can certainly help. The nonprofit has volunteers offering free rides for seniors living in Hendersonville and Gallatin scheduled to get their vaccine.
I hear it all the time. Their daughter, their son, whoever they live with works. They don't want to ask them to take off work to get them to their vaccine appointments. And so that is where we come in there.
Executive Director Lauren Sluter says they've taken some extra steps just to make sure rides are safe, from sanitizing the cars to drivers and riders both wearing masks as well. And according to experts, we do need to get to about 70 to 80% of the entire population vaccinated to reach herd immunity from this virus. So far, 753,000 Tennesseans have received at least one dose of the COVID vaccine. That's about 10.6% of our population.
And another issue popping up during the pandemic, this time it's with people's credit reports. News Channel 5's Cole Johnson live in East Nashville. And Cole, tell us, what are people seeing?
Good morning, Amy. Complaints about wrong information on credit reports have nearly doubled during the pandemic, Consumer Reports and advocacy groups have found. Now, Consumer Reports is chalking this up to in part because of a backlog. Normally, agencies have 30 days to respond to a dispute, but the CARES Act actually gave them some more time. Another reason is some are reporting negatively if you are getting behind during the pandemic, even though many lenders are not supposed to do so.
This is a particularly bad problem, as you can imagine, in the age of COVID, where people have lost jobs, people may be seeking to have credit limits made larger on credit cards, or they may be seeking student loans, or they want to purchase a home, or they simply are trying to rent a different apartment, maybe a cheaper apartment, and they were coming up against problems in their credit reports that they couldn't get resolved.
Another problem with credit reports has been bias. Even though things like race, gender, and age are omitted, lending hasn't been fair. For instance, 1 in 3 Black Americans have no real credit history compared to only 16% of white adults. Now, experts say you should check your credit report weekly, and you can do so for free on annualcreditreport.com. Reporting live in East Nashville, Cole Johnson, News Channel 5.
And a Tennessee man uses an app to help thousands of people, and his latest stop was in Central Texas, where thousands are still feeling the impact, of course, of the storm. Paige Ellen Gerger shows us how this man is proving kindness isn't canceled.
Hey, all of you out there in TikTok land. As most of you know, we're heading to Texas right now.
In an effort to help struggling Texans, a 14-hour drive seemed like nothing for Tennessee native Chris Wheeland.
I started seeing a lot of the people down here in the clean area that were going without and what they were going through. So I reached out to my followers on TikTok.
All 98,000 of them.
I just want to take a picture, hug you, say, hey, you know, we follow each other on TikTok.
Collectively, they raised over $7,000 in just 2 days.
All I did was drive this stuff. It's all the people on TikTok that made all this happen.
Chris is definitely a blessing to people here that's getting the help that he's providing, and that's just really awesome, you know, to collect money from his following, using that TikTok big following to receive donations to help a community in need.
With the money in his pocket, he loaded his trailer up with water, food, PVC pipes, and all things hard to come by in stores these days. Then he parked his truck and began handing it all out to those in need.
Oh man, Lord. You know, I never was a real lover of bottled water until about 2 weeks ago.
And while most of the Lone Star State is struggling, Wheeland says he chose Colleen because of an old friend.
He served in the military out here and he took his life a few years ago. And I've never been able to give him anything back, or his community or his family.
It's safe to say our community is helping him just as much as he's helping our community.
It does make me feel good, but at the same time, it's finally given me a little bit of closure.
Oh, bless him. Oh, my goodness gracious. It is awesome to give, that is for sure. Right now we're coming in 40 degrees over in Lebanon. Mostly dry out there. Of course, we had the rain showers early yesterday, and that helped with the melting process of all that winter weather we did observe. But I just spoke with Rebecca, and she's seeing some nice improvements everywhere on the roadways. She'll have some details for you coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. This morning, we are dry, not picking up anything, the Power 5 radars, and also clear. The sky is beautiful. The moon just beaming bright. Temperatures a little cooler off around Knoxville, 16 degrees colder than where you were yesterday, 3 degrees warmer right here in this city. Now, the average is to be in those low 30s to start off the day. We've got a few spots, but look at the 40s widespread. 48 in Nashville, 42 in Hopkinsville, 41 in Camden. You head your way over into sweet little Lawrenceburg. You're coming in at 37, 32 though for our friends in Cookeville. Get outside. I don't care if it's 5 minutes or if it's 5 hours. Do yourself a favor. It is going to be lovely today, and it's going to feel like spring. Temperatures by lunchtime will be at 58. After lunch, we're going to top out in the low 60s. We're going to continue to stay mild in the days to follow, but it does come with a slight caveat, and that's going to be a lot of rain. Ben, that steady rain that's going to come in these waves starts Friday. I'll have details on how much precipitation is anticipated coming up.
All right, thank you, Nikki-Dee. Well, as electric cars become more viable, rideshare companies are capitalizing on their use, how they're starting to get more out on the roads, and how you can find one here. And dozens of jets now grounded after this now viral video of that engine failure, leading to major scrutiny from engineers. How one of the world's largest airplane manufacturers faces more trouble.
Welcome back. 444. Many automakers are amped about the future of electric powered cars, and now some taxi and ride hailing services are getting on board with that. Michael George explains.
Cabs are a common sight on New York City streets, but you've probably never seen one like this. The Tesla is a breath of fresh air for drivers like Rami Garib.
The car so quiet, so nice.
Garib works for the company Drive Sally. Founder Nicholas Williams says they're transforming their fleet of cabs and rideshare vehicles from gas to electric.
We want to be a first mover in electric, and we think right now is an excellent time to really be starting that trend.
They're not alone. Uber and Lyft, the giants in the rideshare industry, have both committed to zero-emission cars by 2030. GM says it will stop producing gas-burning vehicles by 2035. Amazon is shifting its delivery trucks to electric. And now even local governments, including New York City, are buying electric buses. It's a business opportunity for e-cab companies like Austin-based Electric Cab North America.
The future is electric. I think